Hey there, movie minions. I'm Jason Emmett here with the Movie Mix, and I have something to tell you. The Running Man is getting a remake. Back in 1987, we received a movie starring the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Running Man. And that's a fun movie, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking it out for the Arnold puns alone. But the movie tells the story of a cop in the not-so-distant future who, after being framed, is forced to compete in a televised game show where the competitors are hunted down by comic book-like stalkers. The name of this movie comes from a Stephen King story, but very little of the novel is actually in the film, and Stephen King actually requested that his name be removed from the final product because it's not really his. Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, is going to be at the helm, with Michael Bacall writing and Glenn Powell taking over Arnold's role as Ben Richards. Now, Powell, who we recently saw in Top Gun Maverick, is not quite as imposing as Arnold, but he's still a fairly buff action star, which is quite the divergence from the Ben Richards in the novel. See, in the novel, Ben Richards is not buff. He's just a regular dude. So are they going to steer closer to the 87 movie, or will they be taking more inspiration from the book? In the book, the contestants are given a 12-hour head start before hunters are set loose. And these aren't the dudes from the movie. No Sub-Zero, no Dynamo. These guys are trained elite hitmen. The contestants must survive for 30 days to win their prize of $1 billion. And they can travel anywhere on Earth that they want. Oh, and viewers, well, they can earn money by telling the TV execs where the runners are. Yeah, like call in and say, hey, I saw one of the runners. The book is a very bleak look at our possible future and a scathing look at how we are ruled by media. The 87 film does get some of this right, but at its heart, it's an action movie and little else. Now, Wright has said he intends to stick closer to the source material. He told the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, it's like, I like that film, but I like the book more, and they didn't really adapt the book. Even as a teenager, when I saw the Schwarzenegger film, I was like, oh, this isn't like the book at all. And I think nobody's done that book. Now, before you all lose your mind and be like, oh, they're gonna remake something, sometimes a remake like this, to me, just makes sense. They're going to adapt it the way it should be, and then you have both properties, which is a good thing, because they're going to be drastically different just with the same name, because, well, the movie took its name from source material and then changed it. Now, if I were to guess, I would think a hybrid of the two properties would work best. I also know Wright's love of action films, so I doubt he's going to leave everything about the 80s film behind. Maybe we'll get a story of Ben Richards forced to compete to help his family, and maybe the stakes will be higher, the time frame expanded, but it would also be cool to see specialized versions of some of the hunters, or stalkers, as they were referred to in the 87 film. Now, I don't know about crazy thugs like Chainsaw and fat guys dressed in light-up suits shooting electricity, but a toned-down version of them could be fun, and merging the two worlds might help to appease the book lovers and the film lovers. Or in some cases, like myself, both. So what are your guys' thoughts? Again, I know I'm going to hear them, so drop them down in the comments below. Were you a fan of the movie? Are you excited they're going to be making another version, a version closer to the book? Drop me a comment, and while you're at it, hit like, hit subscribe, because that would rock. There you have it, movie minions. We're glad you came, we're glad you watched, and until next we chat, check out the book and the film versions of The Running Man, both, because they're great, and stay awesome.